And spawning up in the top right-hand corner, tying up the series, playing in this third game here on Cloud Kingdom. Give it up for Rog Elfi.
No, I do like these cute moves that Elfi's making.
Yep.
As much as it is painful to see the continued lifespan of the Immortal Sentry push coming to life, I really do like Phoenix openings in this matchup. It's a cool way to get a lockdown on map control, not a very common thing for Protosses in this matchup. Phoenixes are cool in general. I was even saying in the car this morning that Phoenixes remind me of that like really tall, skinny 17-year-old kid trying to prove himself to a gang with like a knife, jumping around trying to cut people.
Wait a minute, what world do you live in?
Dude, the Phoenix just kind of like a goofy unit in that it can turn and attack while moving, and like nothing makes sense because the engines are still shooting out backwards and yet it's flying backwards. It's just, it's an interesting unit both narratively and strategically.
Yeah, I'm actually getting the analogy quite well now that I'm thinking about it. He's just diving back and forth, ducking all around, and yeah, it's pretty darn good. As for now, Elfi gonna be getting that forge going, and you know, just coming back to the Phoenix point, there was a lot of times where Protosses really wanted to get Phoenix play going, and then committing, say, to 5 Phoenix play, which was a standard for quite a few months. Now, Zergs ended up figuring that out and saying, well, actually, 5 Phoenix is quite a lot of resources and quite a lot of production time to set that up there. So a lot of people were just powering up the front and like just punishing it instantaneously after seeing that kind of flourish of Phoenix come out. Elfi just getting the 3 or 4 there, not really committing overly to that, and then being able to power out from there on.
mOOnGLaDe throwing himself down. Happy Time Expo as expected, and will no doubt be doing the 3rd hatch shortly. A little surprised to see Elfi going for Forge, then Cannon, but again, this is a very defensive setup. A lot of players just don't want to run any risks on this map. This probe moves along the opposite vein of this one, so that way he can be guaranteed to get a scout. You must check on these expansions. Protosses are more trained to check for expansion timings of Zerg than vice versa, but always you can tell. If there's no 3rd base up, you know aggression's coming.
Yeah, and I mean, loading up onto Cloud Kingdom here for this 3rd map, one thing that you were pointing out earlier was the fact that mOOnGLaDe loves that Ling Bane Muta style, and that works really, really well on this map because Zergs end up expanding up to the top left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner to be able to say then, well, yeah, actually you come at me, I'm going to keep you like dancing around with these Mutalisks, and then I'm going to go for the base trade, and you can never, ever kill off these 2 bases at any given point in time once I initiate that base trade.
Yeah, I mean, the only other time we really see that is in PvP when one player is going for the mega fast Blink Stalker play, taking those opposite cornered expos. But I'm hoping that we see more and more of it crop up in other matchups. Bio versus Mech, another fairly common way to see it, but unfortunately the Blue Flame Hellions have abated that a little bit. In terms of what Elfi's doing right now, you know, it's standard. Getting a Cybernetics core, surprise! But I'm really hoping that we do get a chance to see another Stargate play out of Elfi. He does have this conspicuously placed pylon. This really a lot of times says Stargate up on the high ground here.
Yes, that's so important. And me and Grubby for a long time. Oh my God. So well called there, Day 9. But sometimes you see the Cybernetics core hit up there just to say, well, I'm actually going to keep it out of range of this initial Overlord, and then, you know, spin some Chrono Boosts there whenever I want. But it's a great place to hide some tech. It's not necessarily the most scouted out location by those incoming Overlords.
Yeah, I mean, it is true that the Cybernetics core timing is pretty much everything in this matchup, but doing something as simple as hiding that is tremendous. With these 2 assimilators going down. Ooh, I always love the Stalker popping out. Just getting a couple of free lings. You can often just tease out a few extra Zerglings from the opponent and just pull right on back, but man, mOOnGLaDe is on point. He knows where all the popular hangout spots are. He sees that Elfi's going for his usual Phoenix play, and Elfi's not shy at all. He's going Robo right off the bat. He does know where those cool places are to hang out. He's mOOnGLaDe, man. He's cool himself. Have you seen how relaxed and chilled he is at any given point? Even now, I bet he's just like, it's okay, 1-1. I'm still chill. I'm still relaxed. And casting with him yesterday, he was just so cool about it. He's a cool dude. He really is. Look at him down in the bottom right. He's like the Captain Jack Sparrow Zerg. He really is. Charming and talented and powerful.
As for now, the Phoenix on the way here to be able to pick off the Overlord. So one free Overlord for now. And the Robo has gone down at pretty much exactly the same time with an Observer on the way, but he's slightly supply blocked here. And then you just get out of that. But also mOOnGLaDe slightly supply blocked as well, and he's going to hit up against the wall in just a sec again.
We are seeing this flood of Zerglings from mOOnGLaDe. I like this play in this position. He needs to monitor the third. And there we see again a layer going down, but not a really fast layer. A lot of Protosses are going, or a lot of Zergs are going for the 715 layer. Super hyper fast layer just based on the fact that the Protoss buddies are going for air, going for non-aggression. mOOnGLaDe will lose another Overlord here, but it looks like elfi is again going for the same basic setup, but he won't be going for an attack this game.
Indeed. Basically, just because the Robo is not that active at this point, and that's a really big read into what elfi is going to be doing here. Whoa, Zergling's flooding in. Nice force field to save the Stalker, but he gets a great surround on these sentries and kills all of them
Every single sentry goes down. An excellent block at the last second by elfi, but it looks like mOOnGLaDe doesn't care. He's going to continue to try to work away at this gateway, and he is going to get it down. Oh, mOOnGLaDe breaking into the main base. More free sentries. He has gotten his kill count up to 4, and now 5 on the sentries. He'll be able to target fire down all the Zerglings. mOOnGLaDe looking excellent in this spot.
Yeah, at the same time, those Phoenix trying to do a little bit of damage. Do pick up a Queen in the natural here of mOOnGLaDe. Going to be able to try and whittle that down. Meanwhile, though, Zerglings over, killing so many probes here. 6 already going down in the main, with more on the way, Day9.
mOOnGLaDe looking very nice. Throws out more speed Zerglings, but there are 2 cannons here already. elfi is trying to swap that early loss away. He just lost a crap ton of sentries. He's actually probably going to have to build this geyser here right now just to be able to catch up in the sentry count. He is at the 4 Phoenixes, trying to do as much damage as he can. We're seeing more expansions go down. Brilliant answer from mOOnGLaDe, because Phoenixes can't lift buildings, Kalaris.
I have to agree. In fact, that reminds me of the TSL3, where we had that very, very interesting use of Phoenix. And then what was the counter to that? Yeah, just make hatcheries. It's okay. But that was a long, long time ago. As for now, elfi is going to be getting up that gas and the 6 gas as well. A little bit more vulnerable, that 6 gas there. But he will need to try and ramp that up. And meanwhile, the Phoenix still being pesky here, still killing off Overlords left, right, and center.
Yeah, this is exactly how you want to be playing this off as elfi. Continuing to pick off Overlords, and every now and again you sweep into the main base. He's going to do a straight fly through, exactly as you need to do in this matchup. Is there a Spire? Is there a Hydra Den? Nope, there is an Infestation Pit. elfi, again, gets complete vision of what's going on. And what can he do as a result? He can just insta-Robo-Bay. He knows that there's no huge roach threat coming up. He just floods with all the necessary units, has this Observer at the other front line, continues to just lock down and map control.
And I love this little wall that we have at the natural here of elfi, just to be able to zone out that kind of attack path here for mOOnGLaDe. So the only position he really needs to focus fully on right now is his 3rd base. Unless, of course, some crazy drop potential or some crazy Mutilus play from a hidden Spire somewhere on the map was to occur. But let's not get too crazy here. As for now, elfi just having a little look around, seeing the Spine Crawlers go down at his opponent's 4th even, and just trying to pick up even more drones with these Phoenix.
I really, really love Phoenix play, damn it. Phoenixes are so cool. He's only killed off 2. Whoa, Fleet Beacon already from elfi. This is not a carrier play. He is going for it, a meta ship. I mean, mOOnGLaDe has essentially turned his play face up again. He's just going to be going Infestor and for a Hive right away, going straight for the indestructible Broodlord and Infestor mixture.
Yeah, can be absolutely devastating. And elfi has had a few troubles with that in the past, but again, considering that he's going to have this mothership up as quickly as he is going to do in this matchup, that is a very, very interesting little move there by elfi, and he feels quite bolstered at his... It's actually, he doesn't have that many units out. Have you ever seen a Fleet Beacon this quickly when going into a mothership
this
at
is
this
an
point in the game?
Absurdly early Fleet Beacon. elfi doing his best to pick off these Infestors. Sure, the Infestors can nab a lot with the fungal growth, but mOOnGLaDe whiffs a few key ones. And amazingly, there's no Hive coming up yet from mOOnGLaDe. That has to be a misclick. Yeah. This makes no sense for him to be going big defense with Infestor Spine and big offense with a bunch of Ling Roach. I mean, something went wrong here.
And there's that overstep that some Zergs end up making at this point in the game, where Protoss just wants to sit back and defend 3 or 4 bases. Zerg ends up finding themselves in a situation where they're in 4 or 5 bases, and then some Zergs push before the Broodlord transition, which makes it all the less cost-effective against the composition of Protoss. So I really, there we go. There's the hive on the way.
God, that is painfully late. I mean, literally, mOOnGLaDe can do nothing right now. The only thing he can really do is take more bases. He's already maxed. He can't attack. He's not in a good spot to defend. He has all the tech he needs. He's now adding on some Corruptors, but I mean, what do you do? I mean, as mOOnGLaDe, you just wish that your hive was done.
Yeah, you've got it. And we've just got an update that Slivko has actually been able to prevail over Grubby 2-1. So very, very well done there by Slivko. Grubby looking a little bit shakier than in day number 1.
Yeah. I mean, that does put Grubby 2-2 in the group, and I believe he has to go up against Bomber as his last opponent. So it is the next match that we are showing on stream as well. So Grubby's really going to have to dig deep to be able to take a win off Bomber.
He is indeed. As for now, coming back to this game, we do have Rog elfi going for that Templar Archives. Really wants to be able to get those Archons quickly to be able to complement his mothership. Where is the mother? Ah, there he is. A sneaky little mothership Hugh, as he will be able to get along here. Cloaking these units, cloaking this location. And look at this. mOOnGLaDe moving into an aggressive posture. But again, I don't like this without Broodlord.
I think he just desperately wants to kill off the mothership. He doesn't really have the detection that he needs. Instantly target fires the mothership. Where is the detection? Oh no, everything's invisible. Oh, he takes down the mothership. But after all the damage he's sustained, mOOnGLaDe is in an atrocious position. It looks like he's going to be able to take out all those Colossus, but elfi easily able to nab up the remainder of the Infestors, and mOOnGLaDe again in a dangerous position.
Yeah, blinking forwards, killing off the 1 or 2 of those remaining Corruptors there. As for now, all elfi really wants to do is continue to stabilize on this 4 base, get that Colossus count up a little bit once again, get that mothership out, and morph in some very, very important Archons going up against the transition that we're going to be seeing here from mOOnGLaDe with that Greater Spire on the way here. So mOOnGLaDe throws away a lot of his Corruptors, going to have to rebolster that force there, along with the Infestors that ended up dying. And this is going to be extremely expensive for mOOnGLaDe to keep up with the position of elfi here.
Gosh, I mean, mOOnGLaDe was in an awful position, just an absolutely awful position. Went for an attack, bought himself some time. And right now, mOOnGLaDe does have the fortune of saying, well, you know what, my opponent doesn't have Archons, he doesn't have Colossus, but gosh, I mean, mOOnGLaDe has to have a miracle to be able to pull this game off. He has to avoid elfi attacking him for a long time. elfi now has the 4 expansions up. And soon enough, elfi's going to be able to just essentially just go Archon, Colossus, Mothership with as many Stalkers as he wants.
And he's even ahead of mOOnGLaDe right now in terms of supply. Yes, mOOnGLaDe is obviously saving a lot of that back for those Broodlords once those Corruptors all come out. He has how many does he have morphing in? It's 5 morphing in here with 7 more Corruptors on the way. Now, he still needs a good balance of Corruptors to Broodlords. It's so easy as a Zerg to overextend and say, well, Broodlords are a good unit, morph all in of all the Corruptors. But yeah, you can't do that against what we're seeing here from elfi right now.
And I'm so pleased to see this Neural Parasite going down for mOOnGLaDe. It's such an easy to forget upgrade, but he's going to need about another minute as we are seeing the big, big final Doom Force incoming for elfi. Where are the Overseers? Where are the Overseers? Does he even have any Overseers on the map? No, he doesn't have any. Needs to morph those in. Every rock getting target fired now by elfi. As he's slowly stepping in, he doesn't quite have enough for a Vortex yet.
Interestingly enough, I think that what I was saying before, an undercommittal to Corruptors here, actually, with only 2 Colossus, isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But again, this is still a very, very scary composition. I would like to see like 1 or 2 more Archons mixed in here, though, for elfi. Once those 2 Archons go down, then the Vortex becomes a little less potent in its ability to be able to really do damage.
mOOnGLaDe's patiently waiting. 15 more seconds until he can use that Neural Parasite. A Zerg Mothership would be just game-changing right now.
Oh, yes.
Are there any observers out? There's a single observer out on the map. Is it in this force? It's hard to tell. The engagement is now beginning. And there we see the force coming in. Indy leaves the game.
He's trying to get the Vortex.
And then he gets it. He gets the Mothership right off the bat. Manages to throw down that Vortex right away. elfi with the incredible misfortune of getting neural parasited.
Yeah, mOOnGLaDe right now, he just wanted to waste that energy, so when an engagement comes here, he now moves in to be able to engage this force, and he's going to actually push in with a very, very nice position here. But once again, he actually blinks forward. The Broodlord's not too covered here. Will be able to focus down one or two of those. Right now, though, he's fully relying on those Stalkers to be actually able to focus down those Broodlords, but the buffering is too much, but he still has quite a lot of Stalkers left
Another
over.
blink forward. Looks like there's only 5 Broodlords left right now. The Roaches trying to do their best to keep those in the front line. mOOnGLaDe slowly losing his units. In the advancement, elfi stepping forward, but we see a flood of hundreds of Zerglings coming out on the map. The Corruptors have cleaned up the Colossus, so now it's Zerglings just against the naked Stalkers. elfi's food count is very low. mOOnGLaDe having an incredible bank, and mass Zergling about to stream out onto the map.
Oh, wow, and look at this. elfi, all the while, has actually been upgrading his shield upgrades here, and he's going up to +3 shields, which is a little bit earlier than you would normally see for it. Meanwhile, though, Zergling's trying to go for a counter-attack there at the 4th, but not able to get anything done there.
I mean, what an exchange. elfi able to secure the top left expansion. Hasn't mined from it yet, but as elfi slowly depletes his minerals, that's going to become increasingly important. We see 7 Broodlords have now hatched. The expansion continuing to be pressured, and oh gosh, if mOOnGLaDe loses this expansion, that would be a terrible, terrible loss. He's going to have to make a use of all these Broodlords right away. He's trying to delay as best he can. He's waiting until the very last second. There's the target fire, and I think he waited a little bit too long. It is going to fall down. The Broodlords were unable to get there in time. The expansion falls.
Oh, very, very bad there for mOOnGLaDe. Right now, blinking forward, all these Broodlords actually don't have too much coverage. A nice fungal growth to be able to lock them down, though. Meanwhile, no second blink going to be coming too soon. They get chewed up by those Zerglings and Broodlings, and there's a few more Broodlords left over here for mOOnGLaDe.
And this is the attack that mOOnGLaDe needed a few seconds earlier. Now there's almost no forces remaining for elfi. He has but a few Archons, 2 Archons, 2 Colossus, and that is literally his entire force. mOOnGLaDe realizes the opportunity is ripe to hit this top expansion, immediately sends a bunch of those cracklings up there.
Yeah, they're going to be able to do a significant amount of damage here. Once they take out those cannons, then this is very, very exposed indeed. A few Zealots warping in, but they're not going to be able to do too much against these Zerglings, despite their amazing, amazing amount of upgrades. With 3-3-3 almost fully complete here in just a second, but the Zerglings once again head down to this top left-hand corner, but weren't able to find an option.
More Broodlords in production for mOOnGLaDe, but elfi is just on a tear, now ripping down the bottom right expansion. mOOnGLaDe is down to his initial 3 expansions, has no money at all of them. The income is going to be down to almost 0 for mOOnGLaDe.
That's looking very, very scary for mOOnGLaDe here indeed. He does send that Warp Prism for elfi into the main base here. The Corruptors in tow, though, will be able to bring that down. Even the Corruption ability there, really methodical by mOOnGLaDe. Wants to take that down as quickly as possible so that he can send those units back to the middle of the map once again, just in case those Colossus are moving out into the middle of the map with his force. And still these Zealots trying to kill off. Look at how many drones are in this location.
A huge number of drones, 67 drones, all mining from 8 collected patches. elfi will be able to leave with all of those Zealots, and oh my god, the force from elfi is terrifying. 10 Archons, 15 Zealots. The main completely exposed, but this angle is very dicey for elfi. All the Broodlords in the right position. Can he get the Vortex? He's still about 7 energy away, 5 energy away.
4,
it's going to be so
3,
close. And will he be able to get the Vortex? He's trying to float over onto the high ground. It looks like mOOnGLaDe realizes it, and there's the Vortex.
Can he get Archons in there? Yes, he can, as they're going to be able to waddle in. So many Archons in that location. Now, are they going to be able to get a good surface area? Those Broodlords are going to clump up very, very well against this. elfi right now up 50 supply, even sending a Colossus in there for good measure.
And the Broodlords instantly evaporate, and elfi with just a tear of Archon Colossus Vortex, ripping down the last remaining expansion of mOOnGLaDe.
Oh, GG.
Good game. elfi takes the win, showing us a nice long-term game.
elfi, how does he do it? I don't... mOOnGLaDe, so many points in that game look pretty darn good, but elfi in turn also showing a very, very comfortable position as well. mOOnGLaDe can't be too happy with that loss there. Both players very, very comparable in skill there, and well, elfi takes it.
I mean, that's just an incredible diversity of play that we see out of that we see out of Elfi. I mean, going for the Phoenix into two-base play, then going into this crazy long-term game. mOOnGLaDe, I think, is kicking himself because there was such a huge victory at the start of the game with the 5 sentries being killed off by that Zergling run by.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were a number of times where we saw mOOnGLaDe have big opportunities to put on pressure at the top left and at the 4th base, but just wasn't quite able to take them. And then as you were pointing out, 3-3-3 upgrades, where mOOnGLaDe was at just 2-1.
Yeah, and once that 3-3-3 comes out there, those Archons become so much more potent as well. It's very often that you see Protoss just kind of neglecting those shield upgrades, especially as fast as we saw Elfi going for them there. So that was really, really nice play for him. Made his final composition all the more powerful.
So that does mean that Elfi is currently 3-1 in the group, Slivko 3-1, and Bomber 3-1. Those are your top 3 positions. Grubby in 4th at 2-2. Everything's going to be decided by that final Grubby Bomber match. Let's throw it to the main stage with Jarrett for an interview with the winner.
So, I'm here with our winner, Rock's Kiss, Elfi. Right? Sorry.
Asus Rock.
Oh my God. Someone at Rock's Kiss is very happy, and someone at Asus hates me. And then I call them Asus. But it's Asus, ROG, Republic of Gamers. I'm really sorry. At least I didn't call you French. When you have a secure lead and you think the game is won and you move in with an ultra late game army and the Zerg grabs your mothership and Vortex is half of your stalkers, what goes through your head?
Nothing. I was almost smashing my keyboard already. That happens so often with me. Always the Zerg snaps my mothership and then every my unit is in the fucking whatever that spell is. I don't remember its name, but still I was so sad about it. I think I would have won easily the game already there, but shit happens.
Shit does happen. Yeah. The mothership is now a key component in ultra late game versus Zerg, yet you never really reach that stage until you're 25 minutes into a game. How do you practice the use of your mothership when it takes so long to get there? Or do you ever set up games specifically for the late game just to get there?
Well, I think at the moment almost every game goes to the mothership. Zergs are defending so easily, you can't trust them with anything, so you always need the Vortex and Archons to win the game. But without mothership you really can't win. But if you surprise them with some early push then, but that's really rarely at the moment.
Congratulations. Is there anything you want to say to everybody?
Nothing else than what I did last time.
Okay. Congratulations.